My brother put his life on hold for the last 6 years so he could take care of our mom, and I couldn't really help because I had 2 newborn babies that needed care too, so I asked my wife if she would go back to work now that the kids have school so my brother could get his life started again. So my brother became our mother's primary caregiver after our dad passed. He has given 6 years of his life caring for our mom. My hands were tied. I offered support in terms of money when I could, but our dad passed shortly after we had our second child. So our hands were full. Now that our kids are in school, I want to pay for additional support so my brother go back to school. He always had great potential, but he also hates to see people suffer he deeply cares about. He also held greatly appreciated they did not give up on him when things got tough. My brother is on the spectrum and he was a handful growing up. I think to a degree he blames himself for our parents' financial situation. He always said mom and dad would have been better off putting him in a group home or shipping him off somewhere. I have told him 1,000 times to not think that way, but he cannot help it. We were playing WoW and I asked him what his plans for the future are. He wanted to go back to school and get his degree. He was nearly done but dropped out to take care of our mom. So I asked him if we paid for someone to watch mom, could he go back to school? He said yeah, but has to be someone in the home. He refuses to place her in a nursing home until it is deemed medically necessary by her doctors. So that is a non-starter. I mentioned this to my wife, and while she is sympathetic, she feels our focus needs to be on our family first and foremost. We kind of had a slight spat over this because I don't think my wife understands my little brother took on a huge responsibility he did not need to and took a huge responsibility off our hands. I unfortunately cannot afford to pay for additional support required for him to go back to school. Yes, our mother has some services, but they are far from enough, and with the projected cuts in the future those services are likely to be reduced in the future. I want my brother to have something when the times does come for our mom to be placed or passes away. My wife is accusing me of putting her and the kids second, and it is insulting that I ask her to work so I can provide leaves for our family. My brother is my family also. I cannot move our mother in with us since all her services are tied to the state she lives in, and my wife refuses to share a home with someone that has dementia. So am I the jerk here? I know my brother has not directly asked for help cause he knows how my wife is and does acknowledge this was his choice and he has to live with the consequences. Update 1. Appreciate the feedback, got many helpful messages and DMs that have helped me come up with a game plan. I don't know how it will go, but this is my game plan and will tell my wife about it on the weekend when the kids are with their grandparents. I will make it clear that I'm going to take care of my mother. That is going to happen. It will take probably about a year, but thanks to the resources many sent, I'm going to look to move my mother here to PA and get her Medicaid and services here. Someone provided me with a means to get services transferred from state to prevent lapses in coverage. I have my Plan A and Plan B. Plan A. My mother is moved here without a hitch. She gets the same 35 hours a week and my boss allows me to shift my schedule where I can work for home outside major events, and in case of these major events I will ask my in-laws if they would be willing to watch our kids if need be. If not, as stated, aftercare closes at 7 p.m. and is free for young children. So one of us would have to pick them up. If my boss allows to shift to that schedule, this frees up income that my brother did not have access to because rent would not be inexpensive. Not sure why people thought she had a house. She does not, she rents. With everything else like food and stuff being covered by the family budget, I could use a small portion of her income to pay for social day program. Average price her day is $80. That in theory with the 35 gives her a total of 12 hours of coverage. I will handle the rest myself just like my brother has. He has been doing more. I will start to look for prices to add a separate entrance for our basement since we have a finished basement which has serviced as a temporary guest area but can easily be converted to a private apartment area, I think. She has dementia, not like she needs a kitchen. She will eat with us but has plenty of space for things like a refrigerator and stuff. This will also allow our kids to have supervised interaction with our kids while not allowing her free reign of the house to ease my wife's fears. Also gives me the benefit to spend time with my mom. Plan B is more involved and pricey. So say my boss does not let me switch, then I tell my wife next year I'm quitting my job, but she has a year before I max out my vacation days and use FMLA. Not sure if this event qualifies. Will touch bases with HR on that. So best case she has a year and change to find a job and we do what is necessary to have our needs meet her earned income. In this plan my mom would not be living with us. I would use her income to find her an apartment nearby, which unfortunately does not allow for additional services like adult day, but since I am not working and the kids are in school, and if she gets the same 35 hours I could spend the time the kids are in school and then the 35 hours could be used to handle the evenings. Now after she is settled here I will explore care home options, but I'm hopping when that times does come. My brother is done with school and I still have a job if we go with Plan A, or can get another job if we end up with Plan B where we can split the cost to put her in a good place. Been reading caregiver forums and stuff and it seems good is highly subjective. It appears to be a very lengthy process. Also Plan Z, I hope it does not come to this and we divorce over this. I love my wife, but if she really pushes back on me helping my mom in either of these cases, then clearly we are no longer capable. That being said, if we do end up divorced over this I hope we can be compatible co-parents. That is my game plan. It is a throwaway account, so doubt I will update further, but want to give a brief update as to what my plans are going. I hope she agrees, cause not helping is not an option for me. I hope she understands that. For those wondering, she is still fairly capable. As her doctor likes to put it. Physical, she is in perfect health for her age. She is on 4 testament for dementia. We don't know if it does anything, but she does tolerate it well. She can dress and feed herself. Same with toileting, she is capable to go on her own. Sometimes she reminding to wipe or at night may have an accident because she forgets or does not make it in time. Eating can be a battle, cause all she wants to eat is Chinese food, fried chicken, but my brother getting her to eat just takes a long time. She is a lot like how kids are. But otherwise she is one of the most loving people you will meet. As her doctors like to put it. She is presently demented. I hope, since she still remembers my kids and sees them often via FaceTime, that once in person it helps with the transition. Overall, it is time for my brother to have a life and identity besides being a young adult caregiver. I hope my wife does understand this. Update 2. Hey, saw someone replied around 10 days ago, so figured it I would just give a brief update. I went with plan A and things have been going okay. We have good day and we have bad days. My boss and team have all been super accommodating and understanding. It has been nice to see our kids hang out with Ma while she has more good days than bad. Even her bad days are just minor inconveniences at best. She is not aggressive or anything. The fly down here was super easy, she handled it like a champ and she has adjusted well. Her face was like a Christmas tree when she saw her grandkids. Still fighting with the insurance company to get her HHA care, but they do cover social day 5 days a week and her medical team here got her approved for OT and PT for maintenance purposes, which has been great. She is in better shape than I thought. Even her PT is shocked how strong and how well she is on her feet. My wife is not exactly pleased, but we manage. As it stands, she is staying in our basement, have yet to put the separate entrance, but that probably will have to wait a little. It has been an adjustment. Lol, don't think my wife likes me being home as much. My mom tries to interact with my wife, but oil and water. I hope with time it becomes like oil and ginger, takes a little work, but once they mix it is great. I am glad I did this. I get to spend time with my mom and our kids get to see parts of the great woman that raised my brother and I. I dropped the whole job thing. We are managing. My brother will start taking winter classes this year, and yeah, think overall this will be for the best. For those that do wonder, yes, I moved my mom in with me, but my wife does not handle her care at all. I moved my office into the basement, so when I am working from home she is with me. If I have to go on the field, my boss's wife watches her. She said my mom reminds her of her sister and loves the company, so does my mom. She takes her out to do her hair and nails and stuff. She has been super supportive and a great help. People have been very understanding and supportive. FYI, Medicaid blows, they don't want to cover anything. Commenter. Dementia is bad, it's a horrible, horrible disease and no one knows how they are going to react until they are dealing with it. Regardless of your feelings about the OOP and how he went about this, fair play to him for stepping up and not just expecting his brother to sort all the care. So often the brunt of the caring falls on one child or family member. Plenty of the wider family will tell you they appreciate your sacrifice, but that will be the sum total of their contribution.